How are you?
Okay, it looks like everybody's settling in. We can get started. If I can get your attention. Hi everyone, thanks for showing up tonight. My name is Linda Robinson and I'm a new park planner with the Recreation and Parks Department. I'm in capital planning. I'm new to the department. I started in April. However, I have been in San Francisco for about 13 years, and I'm quite familiar with the neighborhood. I used to work at SLUG, which some of you might recall, San Francisco League of Urban Gardeners, and so I've done quite a bit of work around Southeast and District 10 and District 7, and all around the Southeast. There are just a couple of things that I wanted to cover tonight. First is to let you know that we're going to be, the San Francisco Recreation and Parks is the lead agency on this, and we're working with Studio Green, who will be doing the park design. The duration of the park planning and the design process, this process will take place over 3 meetings. So one thing I want to address is that if you did not get any information about this meeting, please sign up. We have plenty of sign-up sheets for you. And if you want to be informed about those future meetings, please put your name and your phone number and your email, the best way to contact you. If you don't see people around you that you know might be interested in this, please let us know. My contact information should be on that sheet, and I will write it on a pad for you all to have. It's linda.robertson@sfgov.org, and I can, again, write that down for you. We're really excited to initiate this process, and I should probably let you know we do not have much of a budget. So just to kind of manage your expectations about that, I just want to let you know that we're completely supportive of this process, and we're happy to see it go forward, but it is a process, so we just ask that you remember that. The next item is just to kind of lay out some just meeting rules and guidelines. If you could turn off your cell phones, this is a productive meeting. We're going to get your ideas. We want to have respect for each other, and we want to hear everything that you have to say. So if you could please just kind of turn off your cell phones or pagers, or turn them to vibrate. We want to stick as closely to the agenda as possible. So again, please be respectful of other people when you're talking. Disruptions, including rude comments, applause, heckling, or interruptions, or interrupting speakers will not be tolerated. So please, again, if you have comments that you don't feel comfortable expressing, or you feel very strongly about, please contact me or contact our department, and they'll get in touch with me. If you feel strongly about an idea that you don't feel comfortable expressing here, please let us know. So with that said, I think that I could introduce another Recreation and Parks Department staff person, Steve Sismowski, who will come up and talk to you about his role in the process.
I am so thankful that we're here tonight. Yeah, I think all of you actually know how thankful I am that we're here tonight. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so excited to see everyone turn out. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, that we're going to actually capture some of the great ideas that I know I've been hearing one-offs in the park, or concerns that are coming up, and I just think this is the best forum to capture everything and have a living document that describes what the community's desires and interests are with regard to McKinley Square Park. As Linda mentioned, I am the Park Services Manager for the Recreation and Park Department, serving McKinley Square Park and all of the parks from Potrero Hill Park, wrapping around the waterfront to Union Square, and from Treasure Island to Standing Street. So I'm spread pretty thin. You guys have been an incredible community to work with. It's really an honor. Sometimes it's a challenging honor, but it's an honor nonetheless for me to serve you. And I really am grateful to have the turnout. Now, what we're going to do tonight is going to be really interesting, and tonight and over the several meetings. As Linda mentioned, there's some ground rules that we want to abide by and agree to, mostly so that we don't lose anything. There's going to be ideas that come out of this process that you're not going to like. They might be your neighbor. They might be your for some people, it might be your relative. It might be a city worker that you're not going to like hearing. But nonetheless, we need to hear it and capture it. So we really want to foster a climate to where we can all share what our experience is and how we can design a park that serves as many of the needs as possible. So with that, I really encourage you also, think outside the box. We're here talking about McKinley Square Park in a snapshot of its geologic evolution. So what's there now may not be there, or may not serve us any longer. It may serve what was originally, or convenience, So, think outside of what the current realm is, and feel free to let your imagination run a little bit wild here. I don't know if Caltrans will agree with shutting down 101, but if that's what we want, let's talk about it. With that, I just want to introduce one other person who's just been a stalwart in this process, and that's Maria D'Angelico with the San Francisco Parks Trust, and has been providing great leadership through the Parks Trust. She's going to share a little bit about what the Parks Trust does, and then we're going to roll up our sleeves and get busy. So thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Maria. I manage the fiscal sponsorship program at the San Francisco Parks Trust. We've been around since 1971, doing various park support activities, and one of the ways that we support parks is by offering sponsorship to community-based organizations within neighborhoods that want to do projects at parks. We help them fundraise, and we provide our 501c3 status to them. So I'm here to support park groups. We are a fiscal sponsor for one of the groups in the neighborhood, and one of the things that we really need to do in order, before we can make changes, is to ensure that we're getting broad feedback from all the park users and community members and reaching some sort of consensus about what everybody wants. So it's really great to see everybody here, and if you have any questions for me, I have business cards. My email address is just maria@sfpt.org, and SFPT is San Francisco Parks Trust.
All right. My name's John Merton. I'm a landscape architect with the firm called Studio Green, and we will be participating.
Speak up a little more, sir.
We will be participating in this process to help facilitate, to get comments and the back and forth of the meetings, and also we will take the comments, we will be summarizing the comments and distributing that, and we'll also be taking the comments and interpreting them into various exhibits and ideas and studies that we then will discuss, tear apart, decide what is important. So I'm going to quickly go through kind of just an overview of the steps from right now to a completed park, or some change, whatever that ends up being. So the first step is community input, and this is great. We have a great turnout, and everyone's thinking what they want in the park, and so now it's going to be time for you to share with us your thoughts, and it's great to do it in a public forum, where everyone's here together, because then you get to hear everyone else's comments, and we all get to talk about it. Everyone gets to share their comments as a group. So that includes some short-term ideas, some problems. It includes long-term possibilities. Vision. It can be anything, and we can talk about it. We don't have to mix it. We can talk about anything that's possible, and the solution will come out as we go through in the process. But right now, it's vision. What can you imagine? Problems, concerns, those kinds of things. The second step is to look at those choices, to define them, to distill them, and look at alternatives. So what does it mean? So what do some of the comments mean when you put them together? What are the relationships? So we're starting to define the needs and desires. We look at alternative studies. We refine the overall vision or concept. Where's the park headed? Because it doesn't have to be viewed as what it is at the moment. It could be viewed into something else in the future. And so where that vision needs to go, we can talk about materials and those kinds of things. The next meeting is really going to focus on narrowing down those thoughts, those alternatives, those studies, those interpretations of the comments. We then take those ideas, and they might be hard to connect, but then our job is to connect them, and we connect them through an overall site plan, and or a master plan or a concept plan. That is the product, and we will also start to define the cost, associated cost to those possible improvements, and then we can start talking about what the phasing or the priorities are. Because clearly there could be this big vision, but if there's no money, it's not going to happen. But there might be some short-term vision things that could happen. So it might be that you have to think of it in two, where some improvements now don't affect some future vision. And so that needs to be thought through. And then we get to the concept plan. The concept plan is a distillation of all these ideas into some cohesive overall plan. And that is the thing that we want to get to and get general community consensus. There may be some dissenting opinions, and that is also the document that we want to get the San Francisco Recreation and Parks Commission to approve, which basically at that point establishes that this plan, this vision that the community has worked towards is the priorities that the community have, and therefore makes it easier when you try to pursue funding that, okay, hey, we have a plan that documents our vision. So it's supported by the community. There won't be the opposition or pushback to those ideas. The key thing that everything kind of falls from, unfortunately, is money. So funding will always be in the background, and the decision about what is done and what the final plan looks like could be influenced by funding. But I also don't think, if you have a great idea and everyone moves towards it, it's amazing what you can do. It may seem daunting or impossible, but I've seen a park from nothing go to having available the funds to build it in a matter of a year, and no one knew how it would get there, but it got there. So it's possible. So once the approvals, once funding is starting to take shape, and it becomes clear that a project can be defined, and some of it may be short-term. It might be 5 projects. It may not be 1. But once that occurs, then you get into more specific construction documentation, which is very detailed drawings, and then all the review of city agencies for all the various compliance needs are done. Bidding and contracts with contractors, and then construction can start on whatever it is. And again, it may be that there's short-term ideas and long-term ideas, and it's something that you're moving towards. But our process is trying to create that next vision for this park. It could be a view for 2 or 3 or 5 years, but it also could be a view for the next 100 years. So that's In a quick kind of overview, that's where we're headed. I think you're probably all aware of the park. This is a diagram of the park. Clearly, Highway 101, we have the steep bank, we have the off-leash area, we have the tree zone